Cities seem invincible, built brick by brick over centuries, protected by walls, governments, and armies. But sometimes, one single day is all it takes to erase them. Not decline, not slow decay. It is sudden decay. Complete annihilation. Whether by nature, war, or human madness, some cities disappeared within hours, with nothing left but ruins and rumors. Thousands of people gone. Cultures wiped off the map. Today, we uncovered 10 real cities that were completely destroyed in a single day. Some fell in silence. Others exploded in fire. And every one of them reminds us how fragile civilization really is. Pompeii, buried alive by a volcano. In 79 AD, the Roman city of Pompeii was alive with markets, brothels, and bathhouses, until Mount Vesuvius erupted. By mid-morning, ash rained down like snow. By evening, the entire city was buried under 20 feet of volcanic debris. People died where they stood, their final moments captured in ash molds. What made it worse? The city had no idea the mountain was a volcano. They thought it was just a hill. Within hours, 20,000 people vanished. It wasn't war, it wasn't famine. It was nature with no warning. Pompeii stayed frozen in time, undiscovered for 2,600 years, a graveyard turned museum. Hiroshima, one bomb, one city. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m., a U.S. bomber dropped Little Boy on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. In seconds, the atomic blast vaporized over 70,000 people. Buildings, trees, even shadows were burned into the ground. Hospitals, schools, homes, all gone in one blinding flash. The survivors suffered radiation burns, cancers, and genetic damage that still affect generations. The city was transformed from a bustling urban center into a nuclear wasteland. This wasn't a natural disaster, it was human-made apocalypse. And it marked the beginning of the atomic age. Dresden Firestorm of WWII. In February 1940, the German city of Dresden was considered a cultural gem, filled with art, history, and refugees. Then came Operation Thunderclap. British and American bombers dropped thousands of tons of incendiaries over 2 days, creating a firestorm that sucked oxygen out of the air. Entire neighborhoods melted in the heat. Estimates say 25,000 people died, many suffocating before they could even burn. Within one day, centuries of culture and architecture vanished. It remains one of the most controversial bombing raids in history, not just destruction, but obliteration. Port Royal, the Sin City that sank. In 1692, Port Royal in Jamaica was the richest and most wicked city in the Caribbean, full of pirates, brothels, and gold. Then the earthquake hit. Buildings collapsed, and a massive section of the city sank into the sea due to liquefaction. Tsunamis followed, swallowing what was left. Over 2,000 people died, and most of the city was gone in less than 5 minutes. God's punishment? Bad engineering? Either way, the Sodom of the New World disappeared in one catastrophic morning, and the sea still holds its ghostly ruins. Carthage, salted and erased. In 146 BC, after decades of war, the Roman Republic invaded Carthage, a mighty city in North Africa. For 6 brutal days, Roman troops killed everyone, men, women, children, and burned the city to the ground. They reportedly salted the earth so nothing would grow there again. Carthage, once the jewel of the Mediterranean, was reduced to ashes in under a week. It wasn't just destruction, it was systematic erasure. Rome didn't just want to win. They wanted Carthage to be forgotten. And for a while, it was. Atlanta, burned by its own country. In 1864, during the American Civil War, Union General William Tecumseh Sherman ordered the evacuation and burning of Atlanta. He didn't just want to defeat the Confederacy, he wanted to break its will. Warehouses, railroads, homes, anything useful to the South was torched. The city burned for days, with flames visible for miles. Over 3,000 buildings were destroyed, and what remained was rubble. Atlanta didn't fall to an enemy. It was sacrificed by its own soil in the name of total war. Halifax, explosion that shattered a city. On December 6, 1917, 2 ships collided in Halifax Harbor, Canada, one of them full of explosives for WWII. The blast was the largest human-made explosion before Hiroshima. A mushroom cloud rose, windows shattered 50 miles away, and over 1,600 people died instantly. Another 9,000 were injured, and an entire district of Halifax was wiped off the map. In under 1 minute, a peaceful harbor town became a war zone caused not by bombs, but by accident and poor communication. Even today, parts of Halifax bear scars from that single moment. Greensburg, tornado erased it all. On May 4, 2007, the Kansas town of Greensburg was hit by an EF5 tornado, the strongest possible. The storm was 1.7 miles wide, and it didn't pass through. It sat directly over the town for minutes. By the time it moved on, 90% of the city was destroyed. Homes, schools, even emergency centers were just gone. Miraculously, fewer than 20 people died, but the city itself ceased to exist in its old form. It took years to rebuild. Greensburg now calls itself a green city, but it will never forget the night it disappeared in the wind. St. Pierre, the Pompeii of the Caribbean. In 1902, Mount Pelée erupted on the island of Martinique, instantly killing nearly 30,000 people in the city of St. Pierre. The eruption sent a superheated pyroclastic surge, hotter than 1,000 degrees Celsius, racing downhill at hurricane speed. It took just a few minutes to incinerate everyone. Only one man survived, a prisoner locked in a thick-walled stone cell. St. Pierre was the economic capital of the island. After that day, it was nothing but scorched rubble. The city was dubbed the Pompeii of the New World, and just as dead. Guernica bombed into history. On April 26, 1937, during the Spanish Civil War, the German Luftwaffe, supporting fascist forces, bombed the small Basque town of Guernica. It was a civilian target. The bombing was continuous, strategic, and designed to terrorize. Fires raged, civilians were machine-gunned as efficiently as they fled, and over 100 people died. It wasn't about conquest. It was a test run for future wars. Pablo Picasso later painted Guernica, now one of the most famous anti-war paintings ever. A small city became a symbol of modern horror, destroyed in one afternoon. Cities may look strong, but history proves they can vanish in a single breath. If you found this chilling, there's more where that came from. Subscribe for weekly history that hits hard and haunts deep. Drop a like if you love brutal truths, and let's keep digging up the past together.